Riding my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming, jump on it.
Tough Love started in 2011. We've known each other years, something like that now. Playing like the same circuit and the same nights, and actually originally like I approached Steph to get in the studio with him to just work on some of my own productions. A couple elements I wanted to work on, and like we just hit it off. We knew very quickly that we had the same or very similar taste in music, and it just felt right. We're never ones to like try and crawl underground. We've never tried to pretend to be something that we're not. We enjoy the vocal side of house, and like the record is massive, it speaks for itself. The crazy thing is that makes us feel really old is how many people coming to the raves don't understand that it's not an original record. Like so many people that come up and they ask, oh, who sung that? Or they don't understand it's sampled. So yeah, I think that's probably the scariest thing for us at the moment.
Well, Pony actually, like you said, was my first single, and it actually made me who I am today. And just to revisit it in the studio is very moving because I haven't done that in a while. And that's why I was so hesitant about even doing it, because I knew I sound like a little kid when I did it. But I think I did a pretty good job within the time that I had, you know what I mean? And I think people will be pleased once they hear it.
We're both like massive fans of the track. Like we grew up, like both our households on like everything from swing to blues and obviously into R&B. So a lot of our sets, we started incorporating like big R&B tracks, converting into house records. So I think Pony was the first one that we did.
I always feel the attachment to Pony simply because it was the song that made me, but to do it on a scale that we just now finished doing it on, like well, we call it EDM, you guys call it house, whatever it is. It's great to even be revisited and, you know, have people love it, and then, you know, it feels less, you know, just feels like it's new all over again.
Yeah, Pony has got Summer Anthem written all over it. I mean, arguably it was last year, but it was kind of like, it was just a dub, a white label, and I think a select amount of DJs had it and still have it and still play it. So I think now we recorded it, we got some amazing riffs, a few like cute little changes on a couple of the hooks, so yeah, it's sounding even better. We make records that we like, and then everything else comes after.
Yeah, afterwards.
That's kind of it. Like when we're in the studio, there's not a set plan of what we're trying to achieve. It's like, we're going to make this record, we enjoy this record, let's test it, and we keep going back to the studio until we're like, now we're happy with it, we're getting the reaction we want, and then we unleash it.
Sometimes we go in with a frame of mind, yeah, we're going to work on this record, and then out of nowhere we've come out with a completely different record. So, and sometimes we've test run tracks in clubs, they haven't gone down as well as others, and then ones that we haven't been too sure of have blown the roofs off. So you can never put your finger on it and 100% guarantee what's a hit.
As far as the studio, working in the studio, I really don't care for the studio a lot. Like when I'm doing my records, I spend less time in the studio as possible because, you know, I'm very hard on myself and I nitpick about every little thing. And you know, I just never was a fan of the studio. I'm also a fan of the road and, you know, stage and all that kind of stuff. But I know the process is, you know, you have to go through the studio in order to get to the stage. So I endure it, and I just like, you know, I get through it. But I truly don't like the studio. That's not my thing.
We're quite laid back in the studio. Like, there's no right or wrong thing. Everyone's got an idea. Everyone's got an idea in their head that they want to put down, and it's not wrong until basically everyone agrees that it sounds wrong. So yeah, so basically, like, we're diplomatic. We have a good approach to it. We sit there and we just throw ideas in the pot, whatever works, and everyone agrees on that. That's kind of what worked.
You know, up until a couple of years ago, we were in the studio 5 days a week. We were running our own club night just to put food on the table for our family, and it was tight. It was just not joke around. It was really hard. I think 3 years ago we were very close to walking away. I don't think either of us wanted to, but we had to like knuckle down and get through it.
But it came to a part where we both really enjoyed the sound that was coming back through after obviously the garage sound, and then all of a sudden, which is now called the deep house sound, that started to creep back into the industry. We're both playing the clubs, both playing the circuits, but that was a sound that we particularly latched onto quite early on, and we was like, that's the sound we're going to try and DJ, that's the sound we're going to try and produce, make. And this is kind of where we are now.
Yeah, I mean, as a scene grows and becomes bigger, it becomes more accessible, and then you're always going to get the people that hate on it, no matter what genre, like hip hop, R&B, house is exactly the same. People always have an opinion. But I think it's nonsense to be honest. Like for me as an artist, I want as many people to be able to hear my music, and if they choose to enjoy it, that's great. And I think that's the same for any artist. You just want your music heard. I think the growth of house music is great. I mean, I think there's some weird, twisted views on it at the moment. People getting upset because My Jane Coles is giving a track to Drake to spit over, but these same artists will sample hip-hop artists and R&B records themselves since the beginning of time. Right? Let's not get twisted. That's where house came from. That is the origins of house, and I think people are so quick to forget that. Right? It's supposed to be about opening up to other genres, being accessible, meeting new people, trying new things. There shouldn't be limits on it.
We're in the process of working through our second single. We've got a few options on the table. We've got album material. There's loads of bits and pieces that we're trying to finish off, get together. Label's looking brilliant. Yeah, signed some great acts, some really, really strong music. And again, like, it's hopefully a great 2015 for Get Twisted and Tough Love and the acts that are a part of us.
We've got one record which is perfect for our album, and we've always said from the beginning that the only guy that could sing that is John Legend. If something can be done, we'll send you it, and let's go from there.
And now our good friend Ginuwine, you know, we can work on some album material stuff with him. He's not getting his hair cut next to me or anything, you know.